When it comes to attraction, there's one thing that is a non-negotiable: confidence. But here's the secret: it's not about being cocky or arrogant. There's a big difference between the two. Confidence is about believing in yourself without needing to prove anything. It's that quiet strength that shows up when you speak, when you stand, when you walk into a room. Confidence isn't about trying to impress others. It's about knowing you are enough just as you are. It's a mindset that says, I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I don't need validation to feel good about myself. When you speak with confidence, you're not just delivering words, you're making an impact. Women are drawn to men who can express their thoughts clearly and without hesitation. But there's a fine line. Arrogance doesn't have the same pull. Arrogance often masks insecurity. It's the man who brags about his achievements or exaggerates his worth, trying too hard to get attention. And while that might catch someone's eye, it doesn't create a real connection. Real confidence is quiet, calm, and grounded. It doesn't need to shout to be heard. When you communicate confidently, your body language follows suit. You stand tall, you make eye contact, and your posture is open. You're not trying to shrink yourself or overcompensate with excessive gestures. Everything about you exudes self-assuredness because you're rooted in the belief that you have something valuable to offer, not only to women, but to the world. The real power of confidence lies in its ability to make others feel comfortable around you. Women feel at ease when they're around a man who is secure in himself. It makes them feel like they can be themselves without having to perform or put on a show, and that's incredibly attractive. When you believe in your own worth, you don't need to impress anyone. You allow others to be drawn to you naturally. So remember, confidence isn't about saying all the right things or playing games. It's about being comfortable with who you are. When you're confident, you're not only irresistible to others, but you're also living a life that is authentic, true, and aligned with your deepest values. That's the kind of energy that no woman can resist. There's something about a man who truly listens, who not only hears the words, but understands the emotions behind them. Emotional intelligence is an incredibly attractive quality, and it's one that's often overlooked. It's not just about having the right answers or knowing what to say. It's about being present with the person in front of you. When you can tune into what someone is feeling, when you can recognize the subtleties in their voice or their body language, it creates an undeniable connection. When you're emotionally intelligent, you don't just wait for your turn to speak. You listen with intent, you empathize with what's being shared, and you respond in a way that acknowledges the depth of the conversation. Women, in particular, value a man who doesn't just nod along, but who truly absorbs what's being said. They want to feel heard. They want to know that their thoughts and feelings matter. And when you show that you're emotionally available, that you're not afraid to connect on a deeper level, it creates a powerful bond. But emotional intelligence goes beyond just listening. It's also about expressing your own emotions in a way that's authentic and vulnerable. It's about being comfortable enough to share your thoughts, your fears, and your dreams without putting up walls or pretending everything is perfect. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, it invites others to do the same. There's strength in vulnerability, and it fosters trust and intimacy. Another piece of emotional intelligence is the ability to navigate difficult conversations with grace. Instead of becoming defensive or reactive, a man with emotional intelligence can take a step back, assess the situation, and communicate calmly and thoughtfully. When a conflict arises, it's not about being right or winning the argument. It's about finding understanding, respecting each other's perspective, and coming to a resolution that strengthens the relationship. Women appreciate a man who doesn't shy away from tough conversations, but who handles them with maturity and respect. It shows emotional strength and the ability to connect in a meaningful way. So, when you lead with empathy, when you can listen without judgment and speak from the heart, you create a space where connection flourishes and attraction deepens. That's the kind of bond that can't be ignored. We live in a world where compliments are often thrown around without much thought. You look beautiful, or you're so hot, are nice, but they're often just surface-level acknowledgments. And while it's always nice to hear someone appreciate your appearance, true attraction happens when you compliment someone in a way that goes deeper. Compliments that speak to a woman's uniqueness, her character, her essence, those are the words that stick. When you see a woman for who she truly is, beyond her physical beauty, you tap into something that can't easily be forgotten. Think about it. When someone notices the little things about you, the things that make you stand out as an individual, it feels special. It's not just about how someone looks. It's about how they carry themselves, how they approach the world, how they make you feel. Complimenting a woman's mind, her creativity, her passion for something she cares about, that's the kind of recognition that resonates. When you highlight the things she's proud of, or the qualities she values most in herself, it shows you're paying attention. You're not just looking at her, you're truly seeing her. Now, don't get me wrong, physical attraction matters, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. A woman who is constantly told she's beautiful starts to wonder if that's all people see. But when you compliment her in a way that shows you appreciate her inner strength, her humor, or the way she lights up a room, it creates a deeper connection. It's a way of telling her, I see you, I recognize you for all that you are, not just what's on the outside. This is where the real power of a compliment lies. It's not just about what you say, but how you make her feel when you say it. When you acknowledge her intelligence, her kindness, her resilience, it shows that you're drawn to more than just her looks. It shows you value the whole person. Women want to feel like they matter for all the right reasons, and when you can articulate that, it sets you apart from the crowd. So, next time you give a compliment, let it be one that reflects the depth of who she is. Compliment her character, her heart, her soul. When you do, you're not just building attraction, you're creating a connection that can last. One of the most powerful things you can do in any relationship is communicate your boundaries. Now, I know some people hear the word boundaries and think it sounds restrictive or negative. But let me tell you, boundaries are actually one of the greatest signs of self-respect. When you communicate them clearly, you're showing that you value yourself enough to protect your time, your energy, and your emotions. And let me tell you, a woman who values herself will respect that. When you establish boundaries, it's not about building walls or creating distance. It's about creating a foundation where both people feel safe, respected, and heard. The key here is how you communicate those boundaries. It's not about being rigid or demanding. It's about expressing your needs and expectations with kindness and clarity. If you want to be treated with respect, you have to show others how to treat you. Boundaries give others a clear understanding of who you are, what you're about, and what you stand for. What's important to understand is that boundaries are a two-way street. When you communicate them, you're not only standing firm in your own needs, but you're also creating space for the other person to share theirs. When a woman sees you setting boundaries in your life, she's more likely to do the same, and that's when real respect happens. You don't have to agree on everything, but mutual respect for each other's values and needs is non-negotiable. The beauty of boundaries is that they keep the relationship healthy. When you let someone cross your lines without saying anything, resentment builds. But when you express your boundaries, you're ensuring that both people can thrive individually and together. Big of a rel say, a newer a tionfeelship, and neither should she. Healthy boundaries allow you both to be the best version of yourselves without compromising who you are. So, take the time to know your boundaries, to communicate them honestly, and to protect your peace. It's not about controlling the other person, it's about creating a space where respect can flourish. And when you stand firm in your boundaries, not only will you command respect, but you'll attract someone who values you for the strength and clarity you bring into the relationship. That's how you build something real. Humor, when used right, is one of the most powerful tools in building a connection. It has this magical ability to break the ice, to melt the tension, and to make us feel comfortable in even the most awkward situations. Think about it. How often have you found yourself drawn to someone who could make you laugh, someone who could take a serious moment and turn it into something light and fun? Humor isn't just about telling jokes. It's about sharing moments, creating an atmosphere where you both can relax and be yourself. It's that shared energy that makes the connection so much more real. But here's the thing about humor. It has to come from a place of authenticity. It can't be forced or manufactured. It's not about trying to be the funniest person in the room, but about using humor to enhance the moment. It's about showing that you don't take yourself too seriously, that you can laugh at yourself, and that you don't need to be perfect. A woman can sense when humor is genuine, when it's coming from a place of warmth and openness, rather than a need for validation or attention. And that's the kind of humor that creates attraction. The beauty of humor in relationships is that it opens the door for vulnerability. When you laugh, you let down your guard. You create an environment where things don't have to be so serious all the time. It's a reminder that it's okay to relax, to be lighthearted, and to not have everything figured out. In a world where so many of us feel the pressure to be on all the time, humor offers a refreshing break. It reminds us that we can still have fun, still be playful, and still enjoy the moment without worrying about the outcome. But let's not forget that humor also has the power to diffuse conflict. Think about how many times you've been in a tense situation, and the right joke or funny comment shifted the energy, made things less heavy, and opened the door to understanding. Humor isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about navigating it with grace. It's the ability to not take things too personally and to find the lighter side of even the most difficult conversations. So the next time you're in a conversation, don't be afraid to let your sense of humor shine. Be genuine, be playful, and remember that laughter can be the key to building a deeper, more meaningful connection. One of the most attractive qualities in a man is ambition. The drive to reach for something greater, the passion to build and create, the vision for a future that's exciting and full of possibility. Women are drawn to men who have a sense of direction, who know where they're going and are actively working toward it. It's not about having all the answers or having everything figured out. It's about showing that you're committed to growth, both as an individual and in the context of your life's purpose. When a man has ambition, it tells a woman that he's not only focused on the present, but that he's building something long-term. And that's powerful. Ambition is magnetic because it reflects a deep sense of purpose. It's the person who wakes up every day with intention, who knows what they're striving for, and who doesn't let obstacles deter them from that vision. It's about making decisions today that will lead to a better tomorrow. When you share that vision with someone, whether it's a big career goal, a personal dream, or a life mission, you're inviting them into your world. You're saying, "Here's where I'm going, and I want you to be part of the journey." That's not only inspiring, but it also shows commitment, both to your goals and to the potential of a shared future. But here's the real power of ambition. It's not just about what you want for yourself. It's also about the ripple effect of that ambition, the way it can inspire and elevate those around you. A woman who sees that you're working towards something bigger than yourself will feel encouraged to pursue her own dreams as well. There's a shared energy that happens when both people in a relationship are driven and motivated by something greater than just their immediate desires. It's a bond that's rooted in growth, possibility, and shared vision. And let's not forget that ambition is also about resilience. It's about the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep moving forward even when things get tough. Women appreciate a man who doesn't give up easily, who keeps striving, even in the face of adversity. When you show that you have the tenacity to overcome challenges, you show her that you're someone who will stand strong in the face of life's ups and downs. So, let your ambition be the fuel that drives you, but let it also be the light that attracts others to your side. A man with a vision, with a plan, and with the resilience to follow through. He's a man who can build something meaningful not just for himself, but for the future he shares with someone special. That kind of man is simply irresistible,